started, I guess I started the East Coast and worked my way west. I started in New Jersey with Grover Cleveland. His headstone is covered in pennies and shell necklaces. Because when he was president, he fought for Hawaiian independence. So Hawaiians would put seashell necklaces.
Oh, really?
On his headstone.
Oh, wow.
I've been to Boston and done in Quincy up there. They're both Adamses. They're buried in the basement of a church. So we went up and worshipped at that church because that was the only way we were going to get into the crypt. And it was a Pete Seeger tribute day. So the whole worship service was Pete Seeger music.
Really?
It was cool. I've been to Vermont, where Calvin Coolidge is buried. Franklin Pierce is in New Hampshire. In Indiana, I've done Ben Harrison. In Ohio, I've done William Henry Harrison, who's on the top of a hill overlooking the Ohio River. And it's part of a national park. He's very tucked away. I mean, you really have to be looking for it to find it. I did Lincoln in Illinois. In Kentucky, I did Zachary Taylor. In Tennessee, I did Andrew Johnson, Andrew Jackson, and James K. Polk, who's buried on the state capitol. His is the only grave that's been moved that I've gone to see.
Really?
Yeah, like really moved. Some people have just been moved to a different part of the cemetery, but he's like across town. In Iowa, I saw Herbert Hoover. In what's my stand? Is that all of them? Pennsylvania, I did James Buchanan.
You didn't see the McKinley, President
No,
McKinley?
I've only done Harrison in Ohio.
So
I have to work my way up.
When you get to McKinley, look us up and we'll meet you there and we'll tour it. The museum's really nice. We live about 30 minutes from there. They've been to the McKinley Museum a few times.
Okay.
For field trips.
Yep, it's very nice. He's buried there and his wife and his children. And you can see it from the freeway. It's a nice, huge memorial and everything.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 presidents in Ohio that I haven't seen yet.
Really?
McKinley's up there, Garfield's there. I believe Rutherford B. Hayes should be there somewhere. And that might be it. I'm doing the Virginia ones in the spring when my sister graduates college, so I'll get down to do most of the Virginias. Probably not the D.C. yet. But
where's George Washington?
He's in Mount Vernon, Virginia. He's down there. So there's one in Michigan, and then there's one in Texas, 2 in California that I have to do yet, and I've got to do 2 more in New York. I haven't done Grant or Teddy Roosevelt. They're both kind of near New York City.
Oh, really?
So I have to do them yet.
When did you see your first one? When did you start?
I was taking my day off is Mondays, so I had decided that I was doing too much housework and office work on my day off. So I thought I need to take these trips and kind of just unwind. So I ended up in West Branch, Iowa. I was looking for things to do that were more than 2 hours away. And West Branch, Iowa is where Herbert Hoover is buried. And he's one of the lucky ones that has his presidential museum and library right there. Because some of them don't have their museums with them. Like Kennedy, his museum is in Boston, but he's buried in Arlington in Virginia. So, or D.C.
Now, do their headstones have presidential seals on them?
No. Most of them don't.
Really?
Jefferson doesn't even have the president office written on his stone at all.
Oh, wow.
Because he hated the office so much.
Really?
Yeah. So he had it left off his headstone.
So you got up to Iowa and decided, was it just...
Yeah, so I saw Herbert Hoover and I thought this would be, I love presidential history and I thought I need to go and see, this would be a great way to get to see different places.
That's very cool because not too many people would even think to do that.
No.
I would have never thought that.
My dad is going to cemeteries and looking for Titanic survivors.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that's my dad's thing and the presidential stuff is my thing.
Now, how many has he found so far?
Several. I don't know what the count is.
How does he find them? How does
he goes on the Titanic website and he looks up, especially if he knows that he's going to be somewhere, he'll look up cemeteries near there to see if there's anybody there that's connected to Titanic history. There's several in New Jersey.
Desserts or anything? Do you want more iced tea?
I don't know. Thank you. I'm fine.
There's your glasses too, but no hurry. Just whenever you guys are ready.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And there's so much art and history in some of these cemeteries. They're great.
Yes.